Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Hot Jobs at HireMilitary. Thank you so much for joining us today on the second Tuesday of Military Appreciation Month. We appreciate you, so thank you for joining us. If it is your first time with us today, it's amazing to see you. We're really glad you found us. If you are a LinkedIn Live OG with us here at HireMilitary, welcome back. It's really great to see you as well. Definitely drop a hello in the comments. Tell us what you're looking for, be it a SkillBridge internship opportunity or a permanent position post-active duty, or you may be a vet or a spouse. So tell us what you're looking for. We use this information to go back and have conversations with our industry partners across the US to say, hey, we've got these great people all across America who are looking for X, Y, and Z. So we need to know what you've got. Oh my gosh, people are coming through in droves. Albert, Christopher, Mark, Robert, Randy, Crystal, I can't keep up. Tom, hi guys, it's really lovely to see you. This is our absolute favorite 30 minutes of the week. We get to spend it with you, sharing our support, our encouragement, and our advice, as well as talking through our newest SkillBridge roles and permanent opportunities. We are here for you, for the whole of the military community. So connect with us. If you haven't already, drop us a connection request on LinkedIn. We really want to increase our network and we want you to be part of it. So don't be shy, please do that. We work with so many organizations nationwide and we have these conversations. So like I said before, we definitely need to know what you're looking for. But something that we wanted to tell you about today were two events that we've got going on this week. First of all, if you're not familiar, we have a resume workshop specifically for military spouses tomorrow. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And if you or your spouse is interested, drop a comment below and I will get in touch with you personally to give you all of the details. Second of all, our CEO, Mike Quinn, you may or may not be familiar with him. He is hosting with the USO Transitions team tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time, a Mastering LinkedIn workshop. So if you're still fairly new to LinkedIn, or if you're not, and you're looking to really hone your skills and get better at it, definitely take a look at the USO website. And we will also drop a link below in the comment in a second and register for that. It is 2 hours long, but it's an amazing use of your time. And you get to meet so many people within the network and really get the insider hints, tips, and tricks. So who else have we got today? We've got Ferrin, we've got Caleb, we've got Christian, Philbert. Hi, guys. Lovely to see you. Just before I introduce myself, one last thing I wanted to say was if you do have any specific questions that you wanted us to address with you today or to answer, or even if you have some obstacle or challenges you want to share, please do drop them in the comments below. As we're going along, I'll take a look at them and then hopefully we'll have a couple of minutes at the end to address a few of them. If I don't get to them live, I'll definitely get to them later on as well. So before we get started, let me introduce myself. I'm Lucy Robinson. I am the Director of Talent Acquisition here at HireMilitary. I've been with the company now for over a year and grown this recruiting team from being one person on my own to a team of 7. I'm really, really proud of that. And that's just indicative of the solution and the support that we can give you as well. I'm an active duty military spouse, and we are currently stationed at Eielson Air Force Base in the interior of Alaska. I was a bit ahead of myself on Sunday. I posted that we had no snow and then it started snowing again. It's not really what you want in May, but I'm kind of liking it ever so slightly. Let me pass you over to everybody else. So Kadeen, tell us a bit about yourself.
Absolutely, Lucy. So guys, my name is Kadeen. I am a SkillBridge intern here at HireMilitary. It's such a cool demographic, right? Because I also know what transitioning service member are going through while being on the corporate side of the house as well. So it's so cool whenever I make personal connection with all of you guys and just learn more about your backstory. So I was in the Air Force for about 6 years. After I got out, my family and I relocated to Denver. We've been here for the last few months. It's been so beautiful. Actually, Jake and we were just having a conversation about how much he misses Colorado and how much he wants to move back. So that's a little bit about me. Looking forward to get into all the amazing roles we have today. Over to you, Matt.
Hi, thank you, Kadeen. So I'm Matt. I'm one of the recruiters here at HireMilitary. I was a SkillBridge intern last year. I started around May. through October. So I was in the Marine Corps for almost 17 years. I went through a med board process, kind of didn't really know that I was getting out as early as I did. So it was kind of a bit of a shocker for me. And I kind of came across some SkillBridge opportunities, discovered HireMilitary, and now I work for HireMilitary. So it's actually like it was a very unique opportunity for me. I know Kadeen is experienced right now. We have somebody new on our team as well before. So he's also an intern with us. So that's something we put our money where our mouth is. We promote the SkillBridge program and we hire veterans. So we try to do that internally as well. And it's really amazing. I'm out in South Carolina right now and looking to move up to Tennessee. I should be moving in just about a month now. So just over a month, I'll be relocating and finally figuring out this transition thing. I've been out for 7 months now and I'm still figuring it out. So it's a long process, but we're here to help. If you need anything, that's what we're here for.
Matt, I don't believe you. I completely disagree with you. You figured this out a long time ago. Like I said before, please connect with all of us, Kadeen, me, and Matt. But what we also wanted to say today is LinkedIn has changed its programming. So on these LinkedIn Lives, we can't put clickable links anymore. So all of the links are in the event for this. And all of the jobs that we talk about today are on our website. It is new and improved. It's beautiful. It's HireMilitary.us. So just have that in the back of your pocket. So to kick us off today, you may see that there's an unfamiliar face with us. We have Jake Sinsky from Masonite with us today. He is one of our industry partners who supports us in the SkillBridge internship program. He's normally hanging out in the chats here on the lives on Tuesdays. He is our biggest champion and we absolutely adore him. So we thought it would be fun to invite him to have a conversation with us in person today to speak more to his experience of hosting the SkillBridge internships across Masonite. So without further ado, I am going to hand over to Matt and to Jake.
All right, thanks, Lucy. Okay, so just a quick backstory. It was about just under a year ago when Masonite and HireMilitary started a partnership together for SkillBridge, and Jake and I kind of got introduced to each other, and we kind of hit the ground running. I think we had some pretty good success right away with SkillBridge, and I think it speaks volumes to the commitment from the company and getting involved with the veteran community. There's some things that we do want to talk about, but if you have questions about the company, you can feel free to put it in the chat. We'll be able to go back in and answer questions that you have. But I think some of the things that will be valuable for people to understand, the reason we do this is so that anyone looking for a job, you can get an understanding of what your future employers are looking for. And I think one of the big ones that we can talk about is, what an ideal candidate looks like. Because, we can look at a resume. So I'll look at a resume, do a quick screening with somebody, and I can send them over and say, hey, do you want to interview this person? Yes or no? And I think the people that have made it through those first stages and gone through the interview process, the best feedback I got was their personality. And, they meet all the qualifications, but how are they, interacting with others? Is it like talking to a brick wall, or is it you're really engaged with somebody that's very animated, enthusiastic, they're charismatic, you think they'd be a great fit for the company? I think that's what's really helped set people apart. But in your opinion, like, what really sets the ideal candidate apart from others?
Matt, that's a really good question. I think the main piece is you've got to find a way to differentiate yourself from the rest of this military population. I myself am civilian, so it's easy for me to say that, but our men and women in uniform quite literally wear the same thing, behave the same way. So you've got to find a way to be able to separate yourself from the rest of the crowd. And on top of that, you've got to be able to articulate, where have you been? Where are you going? Why do you want to go that route? Coming to HireMilitary personnel and then to myself without having that mapped out ahead of time, that's going to make it extra challenging on top of what this process already brings for obstacles.
That's good. Yeah, I think, just figuring out, the path you want to go down, because yes, getting out of the military, I wearing the same thing every day. Lucy had to tell me what shirt, hey, you can't wear that. Like, no, the professionalism, being able to communicate in a different manner. Like, those are things that we don't learn prior to getting out. being able to interact with a different demographic, a different population, all those things are very difficult to understand getting out. Some people can pick it up very quickly, but typically it's something that people struggle with.
Matt, I think I would also add to that, being open versus sharing too much. I don't need to know all of your background and your personal struggles, because quite frankly, that's probably none of my business. But if you're open and willing to at least lend an open ear or a free thought, that's going to do you wonders. But we don't need to know, your blood type and license plate number. Don't go sharing that information. I don't need to know that.
Yeah, I think somebody put in the comments, knowing the organization you're applying to and make yourself directly relatable. I think that's huge. You're doing your research on a company,
Yes.
and just understanding, yeah, I think I could be a good personality fit with them. I think that is a great place to at least start at. If you can do that and just know who you're talking to, the company culture, knowing those things, yes, I think I would enjoy being a part of that, and then starting to pursue it from their networking, reaching out. Hey, Jake, this is my background. What do you think? Do you think this would be a good fit for me? And that's where you come in. Yeah.
That's definitely a fair ask. I will say that if I'm reaching out to a candidate, doing a cold call or just a message on LinkedIn, I treat that situation different than if HireMilitary sends a candidate reference to us. I've got to go about that kind of with a different approach. But if I talk to a candidate and they've at least taken 20 seconds to look at our website and they can rattle off a couple of our cultural pillars, that sticks with me as a recruiter. If I'm talking to them and they've been prepped and they can't tell us, Jake, I know that you're a manufacturing company that's making doors for commercial purposes as well as residential. If they don't know that, that's our core, that's our basic business function, then you're setting yourself behind the rest of the candidates that stand a chance at securing that skill bridge opportunity. So do your research, look into the process. As Matt said moments ago, this isn't going to happen overnight. It takes a while, but do your research and customize your resume as needed so that when you go into that interview with myself or even another company, you're going to be successful.
He's giving you the answers to the test. Essentially, almost. That's a very good study guide going into an interview, and that's why we do these. So you're hearing it from somebody, and it's not the only person out there that shares that opinion. Talking to a lot of employers, those are things they want. Is do they know who we are and what we do as a company? No. Well, why am I talking to you?
Right.
So showing that you're interested and you care will go a long way. Cool. So I think, one of the next things to talk about is there anything in particular that you want to highlight, things that, that Masonite and HireMilitary are doing together, things that, the company is really looking for specifically as far as positions that are open. You got a lot of people out there looking for specific things. What's the priority for the company right now?
Good question, Matt. As you guys know, we've been posting with you for just under a year, and it seems like now we've kind of refined the cohort group of positions that we're looking to fill through SkillBridge. So we're definitely going to be looking for folks who exhibit leadership characteristics. This might be something like site-specific production supervisors out there on the floor with your operators, running product on a daily basis and overseeing those operations, as well as operations managers who are kind of the next step up, but still site-specific. We in Masonite, as well as probably not just manufacturing, but all businesses, are looking for anybody who's got a technical background. So if you are a maintenance mechanic, an electrician, a programmer, engineer, even maintenance managers, we just filled 2 positions within the last month or so permanently with maintenance manager background. That would be ideal to at least strike up a conversation with myself or reach out to Matt or Kadeen and say, hey, does Masonite have an opportunity for us? The third group I would mention, Matt, would be anybody who's got an EHS, environmental, health, and safety background. Folks, even if you did something like emergency prep or homeland security, you might have a pretty decent foundation and not even recognize it for maybe being eligible and a pretty good fit to go into a site safety manager or a coordinator position. So take a look at some of our postings that we have on the Masonite website. I'll share some of that information later in the chats as well, so you can browse.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, you talked about, having even a rough background, it's enough that you guys can take. And that's what the whole point of SkillBridge. Like, that's the whole point of this is, you take somebody that has raw skills they have, the solid background, and then you guys can really take them and mold them and really teach them in the right way. I think y'all have done a great job, just the placements that we've had, and recognizing that and being able to take somebody like, yes, this is somebody that I can work with, and communicating with the hiring managers across the company, the different like Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, the couple of places that we've been able to place people in, and getting them to really accept people that might not be the perfect 100% candidate. It was like, okay, we can definitely work with this person, and that's what's made us successful so far, I think.
Man, I'm glad that you brought up that percent of 100%. I truly believe there's nobody out there who is the perfect candidate, but if you come to us and you've got 50% plus, honestly 75, 80 would be great. We can mold you and provide the support and the development that you're going to need to grow into that role. I tell Matt all the time, and I think I shared this in February when I came here on Hot Jobs, looking for a position with Masonite is going to very closely resemble looking for a home, a new house, right? If you find a home that's got 75% of the characteristics and traits that you're looking for, you should be jumping all over that opportunity.
Exactly. That's probably very comforting for people listening to hear that, then there's having that culture is going to be very nice for people that are really looking. I saw somebody with that EHS background put in the comments too. So just finding the right location, I think, is the next step.
Let's connect. Love to meet you.
Yeah. You're hearing it in person. So, so I think to kind of wrap up some things, some things that we can talk about, how has Masonite been supportive of the veteran community? We say that you're prepared to receive SkillBridge interns was a great way that you put it. And there's a lot of different things or processes you put in place. You personally, along with a few others within the company. I know I spoke with one of the gentlemen yesterday. You made the introduction to us. How have you been there for the veterans or the transitioning service members coming out of the military?
Yeah, absolutely. Good question, Matt. I'll try to wrap things up quick as I can. So to help prepare a landing zone, so to speak, for our incoming SkillBridge interns, we've done a variety of things. Number one, I constructed a program which is called the Veteran Leadership Development Program, which is available to our interns coming into Masonite, and it's customized to be an experience that will fit you based on your timeline, whatever business segment you're choosing to join, whatever your location might be. And it doesn't matter which branch of the military you're joining us from. The program that I've designed is going to be tailored to fit you, your needs, and it's going to give you kind of an all-encompassing look at the entire business. As a part or a component of that program, we've also launched a HireMilitary support group. We've been in existence now probably right around 8 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
And Kadeen, Matt, and Brandy Walker all come to this meeting, which is held bi-monthly, and they participate. And it's a neat group because it's made of groups of different employees, those who have already been working with Masonite for a while, who have a veteran status, as well as all of our SkillBridge interns. And that's meant to really just provide additional support and guidance to those who are choosing to maybe just kind of test drive Masonite and give us a try. I've also worked with Lucy and Kate Wood to put together resources for our hiring managers so that they are prepared and supported and equipped to actually conduct a formal interview at the conclusion of our internship with our candidates. So we didn't want our hiring managers going into these interviews blind and not be fully prepared. So we made some supporting materials for them. We also recently launched an internal publication. It's a magazine that we send out every 3 or 4 months called Walk Through Walls magazine. This is basically just kind of helping to spread awareness for the HireMilitary relationship and the Veteran Leadership Development Program. So again, just trying to add to the momentum to keep this forward progress moving as much as possible. And the last piece that I would add is within the HireMilitary Masonite contract, there's this component set by the DoD that says candidates need to have or experience a high probability of being hired on by the end of their internship. And our goal is to refine that as much as we can. I'm kind of comparing it to the head of a spear. HireMilitary is the point on that spear, and Masonite is trying to sharpen that thing up as much as we can so that when it's ready to pierce and get you into this position, it's as sharp as possible, it's as pointy as possible, and going to give you the highest chance of getting hired on. And our hiring managers who are posting with you guys are very eager to fill these roles.
So what I hear is you got a lot of people that care.
We are
That's
loaded.
They care more than I've probably seen in the year that I've been doing this. So that's great to hear. And I appreciate you coming on, sharing this
Thanks
up,
for having
because,
me.
you know, I think it's more important. Yeah, we understand it, but hearing it from somebody coming out of the military in that last year or so, knowing that this is out there is going to be very good for them to understand that, you know, they see it, they hear it, they can experience it. So I appreciate you sharing all of that. Well, you can put your contact info in the chat so people can reach out to you if they have questions about the company. But, you know, again, I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me. Ladies, thank you for having me again. Good to see you as always.
Thanks, Jake. Thank
Bye.
you, Matt. Really appreciate
Bye-bye.
that. That was absolutely wonderful. So I took from that Cliff's notes, nobody is ever 100% matched for any job, you know, so go for it. And also do your research on the company when you go for an interview. So just before we move over to our positions, and as you can see, we now have Amber. So I will pass over to her in a second to introduce herself before we talk about our roles. We have had a couple of questions in the comments and I wanted to address those now. So first is really exciting. We normally have Jake with us in the comments. We've got Amy Barry, who is another one of our industry partners. She works for a company called Splunk, and we have multiple internships, Skillbridge internship opportunities with them. Really phenomenal company. And she asked this question to us. And so I thought it would be a great place for us to answer it. She said, we know one of the challenges vets have when transitioning to civilian work can be confronting the bias of transferable skills. What advice do you have for candidates struggling with this challenge? Now, before I answer that, Chad has been a huge advocate and champion in the comments while Jake and Matt were talking and giving his 2 cents, which was just phenomenal. And it wasn't in response to this, but it was in response to something else. He said, translate your skills to the corporate world. And so just to extrapolate something from there and to enhance that response, my biggest piece of advice is when you are looking at a job description, what you want to do is you want to utilize the language that is in the job description to the role to which you're applying. So you need to see what they are looking for. And, you know, you go through and you go, yes, I've done this. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I've got this skill and experience. And utilize their words, their language by plugging it into your resume. And that is 2 things. First of all, that's targeting and tailoring your resume specifically for the role to which you're applying. And equally, lots of people come to us and say, we don't know how to civilianize ourselves. That is literally the epitome of civilianization. You are creating the Masonite version of yourself, the Splunk version of yourself, the Bits.io, that's another corporate partner that we work with, version of yourself, because you are taking your experience, but you're presenting it back to them in words that they're familiar with. So that's a piece of advice I can share with you today. Amber, let's go back over to you. How are you today?
I am doing great. That was great information, Lucy. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it. I'll give a quick introduction of myself, and then we'll backtrack to Kadine's Skillbridge opportunities. But I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. It was such a pleasure hearing all the great information from Jake. He's always a delight to work with, and I know we're very thankful for that partnership. But I'm on the recruiting team here at HireMilitary. I'm an Air Force veteran, currently located in San Antonio, and I'm excited to share a couple of direct hire opportunities today.
So let's talk Skillbridge first of all. Kadine, hit us with them.
Yes, Lucy. So before I start, I realized that one of our candidate, Richard D. Gills, he asked a question, right, about having the Skillbridge in July timeframe. Richard, we have over 202 current open availability for Skillbridge. So I would definitely encourage you to go ahead, connect with myself, connect with Brandy. And if you haven't created an account on HireMilitary, go ahead and do so that we can reach out to you, right? So yeah, we have a lot of amazing opportunities that I would love to get into. But before that, just wanted to highlight that we do offer internship for service members who are either separating or retiring within the last 6 months of their contract. So if it applies to you, I'll go ahead and share these two amazing opportunities that we currently have with our partnering companies. So the first position, we did talk a little bit about Splunk, and I see in the comments there's a lot of traction. People are very interested in the company as a whole. There is a position for sales engineer. This is a remote position, and it's truly getting your foot into the door to pivot yourself into IT. So this is a sales engineer where you'll be a technical advisor to your sales team, in addition to any other companies that you will be working with in that time frame. Ideally, they want someone who's going to start in July, because this is operated more as a cohort. So if you're transitioning date, you're eligible to start an internship in July, please connect with myself or Brandy, and we will make sure to get you taken care of. They do want someone who has about 3 to 5 years of professional experience working in a corporate setting or in a military setting. In addition to you meet and exceed all of your qualification at your current role, so that will translate well into this new role. So that is about that position. And then we do have a new recruiter position with the company Active. So this is a hybrid position, and it does require a bachelor's degree. So if you do not currently have a bachelor's degree, they will take years of experience in lieu of that. They do want someone who has experience using job search boards, such as thinking about Indeed, Clearance Job, or using social media, right? Thinking about LinkedIn as a platform in its whole. And they do want someone who has experience basically utilizing federal contracting. You have experience in that federal space. That is what they're looking for. So if either of these positions is of interest to you, go ahead, tailor your resume. The links to each of these posts will be in the description. So go ahead, check it out. Connect with Brandy and myself, and then we will be sure to connect with you guys as well. Thank you so much.
And you've got another role, I think, that you're going to, was that, okay. No, that was the only one today. Okay, on Tuesday, sorry.
So that's a sales engineer and a recruiter position.
Sales engineer and recruiter. I was thinking of a third, but don't worry, my mistake. Christopher Keith, you made it. Yes, you wonderful person, right back at you. We're so glad to see you. So we've talked about the recruiter on the SkillBridge side today. Now, I think, Amber, you're going to tell us about a recruiter on the direct hire side.
Yeah, this is exciting for us. We have a recruiter for SkillBridge and a recruiter for direct hire. So this is a different company, but this is really an ongoing client of ours that we've been working with for a while now. We've been really successful with them. They've now let us know that they are in need of a recruiter. This position could be located in Tampa, Florida, or they would be open to remote for the right candidate. So a little bit about the business. They've been around since about 1986. They have 70 plus locations, just so you kind of have an idea what you're stepping into. But they do want 1 to 3 years of experience. Progressive HR experience with a focus on recruiting, on onboarding, all of that good stuff. So in addition, though, they want a bachelor's degree in HR or business administration, and they have a preference for SHRM CP or PHR. So that's a recruiter out of Tampa, or they'd be open to remote for the ideal candidate. Lucy, this is a really exciting one for us. We just got it this morning. So the next position that I will share with you guys is a security analyst. This is out of Lansing, Michigan. This position is with a worldwide leader in research and development, also a client that we've been recruiting for a little while now. They are in the business of manufacturing and operating superconducting electronic accelerators. So the security analyst, though, will be providing the framework for controls and access, monitoring for security breaches, and implementing those overall security improvements for their team that is really taking a big boom right now in their growth. So the security analyst requirements, though, are a bachelor's in cybersecurity or a related field, as well as 3 to 5 years of experience in information technology. So that's a security analyst in Lansing. If you're interested, definitely let me know. Send me a message or connect with me, or just drop it in the comments and I'll reach out to you. I have one more position to share with you guys today. It's a technical editor, designer, and illustrator that is out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. So our client is a hub zone small business that works directly with federal, state, and military leadership within the defense, energy, and environmental sectors. And this particular role will be supporting the Defense Threat Agency. So with that, a secret security clearance is required, as well as a bachelor's and between 1 and 3 years of directly related experience. They do have a preference for people that have have that federal government experience. So it's a technical editor, designer, and illustrator out of Albuquerque. Let me know if you're interested. I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have.
They are wonderful. And I'm so excited about that recruiter role. How many times a day do we get asked, have you got any recruiter positions? Well, yes, we have. And in Tampa, Florida, no less, working with one of our favorite clients. So jump on that. It won't be around for long. Matt, over to you.
We unmute. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I have a few that I would like to talk about. So we have quite a few different opportunities around the country. So the first one I'll talk about is in 3 different locations. It's called a technical support specialist. It's in Massachusetts, Texas, and California. So basically, it's a global supplier of electronics equipment. So it kind of relates to that Splunk position with the sales engineer. So it's kind of a customer-focused position. It's like pre-sale. So for example, I like guitars and I like instruments. I spend a lot of money on things that I don't need to buy. And it's probably because people contact me like, hey, I saw you're interested in this product. What do you think about it? Do you have any questions? It's a subject matter expert that reaches out to the customers and answers any questions that they might have. Or if a sales team needs a subject matter expert on electronics equipment, RF equipment, things like that, that's where this person would come in. You have a strong background in electronics, and 3 really good locations is in Irvine, California, Louisville, Texas, Andover, Massachusetts. So some pretty good locations for someone to be able to get some good employment in. Yeah, it's very customer focused. They want somebody that has the experience interacting with customers. I talked to a candidate recently. You know, if you're coming fresh out of the military, think, okay, I was an infantry guy. If I went to somebody for something in supply, motor T, comm, I was their customer. You have the customer experience. It just might not be the corporate experience. It's just a matter of translating those skills. So when I say customer experience, a lot of people coming out of the military have that background. So it's just something to think about. It's something I didn't think about when I was coming out of the military. So the next one I'm going to talk about is a new company. So it's going to be in a couple different locations, mainly Wisconsin and Houston. So the install coordinator is going to be in Milwaukee and Houston. So you're basically functioning as a field project coordinator for projects. The company provides maintenance on already installed machinery. Basically, they provide sampling analysis techniques to customers around the globe. It enables accurate monitoring of the processes for production, efficiency, output, and safety, and things like that. So, install coordinator, you're responsible for things that are already installed, provide installation, startup, repair, services, and other things like that. So, a good maintenance background. We just talked to them today. This is like the most fresh job that I think we have in the system, maybe an hour old. So anything automotive, aviation maintenance background. I know there's a lot of people out there that have that experience. Again, they understand they have some military folks within the community there, and it's just the type of background they want. So those are ones for Milwaukee and Houston. And then the second one is located in just Milwaukee, and it's as an electrical engineer. So with that one, you kind of get an idea of what they're looking for with electrical engineering. So somebody does need to have a 4-year technical degree, preferably in electrical or computer engineering, 3 years industrial environmental exposure to meet manufacturing requirements, electrical assembly, quality control, microprocessor design and programming, some little things like that. There's going to be links in the job descriptions on our website. You can just search electrical engineer or install coordinator, and you'll be able to pull up those roles and read the thorough job descriptions, or you can reach out to me directly, find out more about each position. Again, these are brand new, exciting stuff with a pretty good company. They've been a partner with us for over a year.
They have. Thank you, Matt. Do you know the thing that's made me the most happy about this LinkedIn Live today is all the conversation and chat in the comments. Transitioning service members, spouses, veterans, all supporting each other and answering each other's questions. So if you haven't already, if you've spoken to some people today in our comments, reach out and connect with them here on LinkedIn. Reach out with everybody. Build your network across the US, across the active duty and post-active duty military community, your veteran community, and also connect with us. There have been a couple of other questions that I really did want to answer. There was one from Eric about applying to over 200 jobs, and also one from Danny about how we can help spouses and college-age kids. We don't have time to answer them live today, but I'm definitely going to get in the chats and write back to you in a second. So it just leaves me to say it's been such a packed session today. Thank you for hanging out with us. I've said it 5 times, but I'm going to say it a 6th. Connect with us on LinkedIn. Bookmark our careers page, so that's HireMilitary.us, and we can't wait to see you again next week, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Thanks, guys.